Hey, this is Sam from the Rubens, and you're listening to Torrent This with Dando.
Welcome to Torrent This with Dando. Now I'm joined on the line by a member of a Sydney band who, after releasing their smash hit single Lay It Down and recording their debut self-titled album in New York with acclaimed producer David Kahn, they recently played Splendour in the Grass, released their new single My Gun, and will embark on their first national headline tour in September, which includes a gig at the Bended Elbow on September 14th. I'm of course talking about the Rubens, and I am lucky to be joined on the line by Sam Margin. Sam, thanks for your time, man, and how's things?
Very good, man. Very good. You're very welcome. Things are good.
I hear you're on a train at the moment.
I am on a train on the way back from quite a big night.
Yes.
And that's fine, though. That's cool. That's cool.
What have you been up to this week, man?
Played a couple of shows. Played some uni shows this week. We played in Melbourne at Melbourne Uni, and then Sydney at the Manning Bar.
Yeah.
They're amazing shows. Huge crowds, actually, Sydney was insane. So yeah, just been playing a few shows, and now we've got some time off between now and when we start the tour.
How long did it take to recuperate from Splendour?
I'm still trying.
Yeah.
No, it's hard, dude. When people talk about it, I've never been there. The first time I went there was when we played.
That's awesome.
When people talk about, you hear on Triple J the whole week after Splendour, people just calling up saying, I need to be back there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever recover. I was like, yeah, shut up. But
yeah.
I actually realised, it is such a good time, and it's always hard to have such a good time and then have to go back to reality.
That's it.
Luckily, we don't.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Did you get to meet Jack White?
No. I saw him. We're in backstage, and we have a guy who will probably play tambourine for us in Geelong. He comes up. He's a fan of ours, but actually became a really good friend, and we get him to play tambourine at loads of shows.
Yep.
So he was there, and we got him backstage, and Jack walked out to go on stage, and he slapped him on the arse and said, have a good show.
On to Jack White?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I said, thanks.
You guys seem like the luckiest guys in the world. I'm surprised he didn't invite you up on stage with him anyway.
Dude, I'd probably faint.
Yeah.
He is the coolest, probably the coolest music person alive. Right?
He really is. Well, the national tour kicks off in a few weeks. What's something you're excited about and something you're nervous about going into it?
I'm probably excited and nervous about the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is obviously playing the huge shows, but probably playing the huge shows and then going to play the smaller shows.
Yeah.
Like Geelong.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I like the fact that you're playing regional shows as well, not just big cities.
Yeah, well, we've never done it, and often you do your big tour, you play metros and forums and say capital theatres and stuff like that, and then you do your regional tour. But we put it all into one tour, and I think I'm kind of excited, nervous about that because it's going to be a big difference. Going and playing the forum or playing Geelong one night, then the next day we go and play the forum, and adapting to those kind of different venues is going to be interesting.
Believe me, they'll be completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
But the crowds are always amazing, and I've learned to not be so nervous about regional shows now because, we haven't played Geelong before, we've played Ballarat before, and I'm always a little bit like, how is it going to go? Are people going to turn up? And now I've learned to just relax because they are often the best shows. Yeah,
well, I know a few people that are already got tickets for it, so don't worry, man. There'll be a few people in Geelong.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the ticket sales are going pretty steady, so that's good.
Well, one memorable thing about the Geelong show is that it's the same day as the album gets released. How stoked are you about getting that out?
So stoked.
Yeah.
When you're recording, when you're not schooled in being a recording artist, you think that when I record my album, once it's done the next day after mixing, they're going to put it on, release it. But you don't realise that it takes a long time. It takes 8 months, a year. It's all that timing and getting things right. And so the anticipation you have as a band wanting people to hear your music is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's come to a point now where, it's high time that people heard this record for people not knowing these songs. And so, yeah, we're just absolutely stoked for it to be coming out.
Well, when it comes to getting the chance to record the album, you were pretty lucky with people being in the right place at the right time, particularly when it comes to how Tuesday showed Khan the demo for My Gun. Yeah,
exactly. We were so lucky that Dean was over in France working with Khan, working doing seminars with him. And he just dropped it, and somehow David Kahn, his ears pricked up and was like, I want to work with these guys. I still don't know how the hell that happened. Why, but I just know how lucky we are, I guess.
Do you ever get shitty when people get jealous of how quickly you guys have just made it?
Oh, we've had a lot of that, dude.
Yeah.
I do get shitty.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of artists, actually. I'm not going to name names. There's been a lot of artists that we've worked with and or been around, and they've just been, there's been comments, sort of underhanded. You don't realise how lucky you are, kind of comments, or like you haven't had to do the hard yards, and it's kind of like, well, we've worked really hard, and we don't deserve it any less than you do. You know what I mean? Like, but I think I'm very careful to make sure that people realise that we know how lucky we are. Like,
that's it.
Really, we know, and every day, we count our blessings. Like, yeah. We're the luckiest band ever.
Yeah.
I think, like, shit, like, all of the bands that we love and the best bands in the world got there really early. You know what I mean? They didn't have to do the hard yards. You know what I mean? The Beatles,
yeah.
The Kings of Leon started when they were really young. Oasis were really young. So all these bands, I guess, they started young. Like, and so I mean, it did annoy me when people used to make those comments, but now I'm kind of, I'm comfortable who we are as a band and what we've done and what we're doing. I know that we're good. And
you deserve it, yeah. Well, and when it all boils down to it, like it's your fault anyway.
No, exactly. It's like if you want to be angry at someone, you can't be angry at us. Like,
yeah.
It happened to us, but we didn't. It just happened to us.
Yeah, that's it. Well, David Kahn, he's worked with the best. I mean, Paul McCartney. Enough said. He must have had some pretty good stories, man.
Yeah. I mean, he had his stories. You didn't have to dig for them. I was at first very cautious of trying to talk straight away. As soon as I met him, I wanted to ask him about all these things.
Yeah.
But I was cautious. But he was such a cool guy, and we became really, really good friends, all of us. So we just heard, over 3 months that we were there, these stories are just part of his life. He's not a name dropper. These are just stories that have happened to him, and they often involve, Paul McCartney or
Strokes,
Jeff Buckley, or yeah. Probably the most interesting thing was the fact that he was part of the group that signed Jeff Buckley. And, he went to when Jeff Buckley used to play acoustic gigs, and David was like, you should probably start playing electric guitar, kind of things. And Jeff Buckley used to go to his house and listen to old records, and David would drink wine, and David would school him on old classical music, and until the early night, and that kind of
that's insane.
Me excited. I was like, dude, that is so cool.
I know, right? Are you much of a Beatles fan? Because I mean, I've got Lennon's signature tattooed across my forearm.
Do you really?
I do. Yes.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
He did it himself, but that's cool.
Yeah.
I am to a certain extent. I appreciate their genius. Absolutely. It's almost like I can't listen to them that much because it depresses me.
Yeah.
A lot of bands are like that. Like, I know a lot of bands and they're like, I can't listen to the Beatles. It's just, it's superhuman kind of ability to write amazing songs, and it depresses a songwriter.
Yeah. Well, speaking of idols, just say hypothetically, Mick Jagger rocks up to one of your gigs out of the blue. What do you ask him?
Get on stage.
Yeah.
And dance around like a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would. I don't think I'd be able to find the words. You never know, though, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, when you meet famous people, I guess, I don't know, surprise yourself.
Yeah, that's it.
You soon realise that they're just people.
That's it.
I don't know where I draw the line.
Yeah.
I think, him or any rock stars or Johnny Depp or something, was sitting at my dinner table, I'd probably shit my pants.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, lay it down. It brought you guys to the table. As much as you're probably sick of hearing, it's one of the main things you guys are known for. Are you bored of this song now and want fans to just move on?
No, not at all.
No?
I get that question a bit, and I've had to think about it quite a lot, and I'm actually not. I love that song. I love playing it. I know that the album has, and the album's good enough to make people realise it. People basically just need to hear the album, really.
Yeah.
That's why we're so excited about people hearing it, because we know that there's more than just Lay It Down on there, and I like every song on there. And I can't hate Lay It Down because it's so much fun to play live. One, the fact you play the little intro and everyone goes crazy.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
And then it's just, it's just fun from start to finish. So I'm not trying to sort of get away from Lay It Down at all.
Yeah. Well,
just embracing it.
Do you feel like some people like that song are not going to like some of the new material on the new album because you sort of studioized it a bit, didn't you?
Yeah. I feel like people that are a bit precious might. And they're entitled to, and we were completely aware that we were that was going to happen. There was nothing we could do. We couldn't make it indie enough to not annoy some people. You know what I mean? But the thing is, you might lose, with the way we made the album, we figured, you know what, we might lose 1,000 fans, but we'll probably gain 100,000.
That's the best thing, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I hope people can get past the fact that it wasn't recorded in my bedroom. We didn't go to New York to make to make an album like that. That's the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think any fans that knew that we're going to New York to record our album, they must have known that it wasn't going to be an album of Lay It Down.
And you're going to take advantage of actually being in the studio. Like you guys, you write your own parts of your tracks in your own personal space. Where would you say you write your best material?
I'm trying to think back to where I wrote songs. I'm trying to think where I was when I wrote Lay It Down or My Gun. I think I had this I sort of set up a little mini studio in my bedroom, and I think I was just in there. I mean, I wrote Cowboy Song, My Gun, all those songs that I wrote in my bedroom.
Okay.
My Gun, I was sitting at the little MIDI keyboard and just started mucking around.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And, I think we actually. Oh, the funny thing with My Gun actually is that it's the drums. It's just a loop from GarageBand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That hip hop drum beat was actually a loop from GarageBand.
Okay.
The beat and slowed it down heaps. Like it was really fast.
That's awesome.
I slowed it down heaps. That's why it has that weird sound. And I slowed it down so it sounded like hip hop. And then I wrote the organ parts to that song. And so I guess it all happens in my bedroom.
Yeah.
All in the bedroom.
All in the bedroom. Now, would it be wrong for Will to claim to girls that he's officially part of the Rubens?
No.
No?
Of course not. No. He will be.
He will be? He's officially in the band now?
I can say that on radio that come the second album, Will Zeglis will be an official photographed, press-shotted member.
So he's the 5th member now?
Yeah, he will be. He will be. Right now, it's in his best interest to be a session musician for us.
Yeah.
Because of how it all goes and that kind of security.
Mm-hmm.
But we are so close. He's not just a touring member, if you know what I mean. Now,
yeah.
He's part of the Rubens.
Well, good for him.
We can't wait for as soon as the first album is toured and done, Will's going to be our 5th member.
That's awesome for him.
Yeah, it's great. Well, he played bass on the record.
Yeah.
He came along as support and as a mate kind of thing. We'd known him for probably 6 months before he came to New York. He came along, and then we sort of said, "Oh, you should play some bass on a track just for sort of shits and giggles," and then he ended up playing on the whole record. And then if you're going to be because we did so much pre-production, 5 weeks in a rehearsal studio with him, you learn all the songs, and we're like, well, now we've played with you, we can't not play with you because we're going to miss the bass.
Yeah,
that's live. We realised how much of a difference it makes. It just pulses along with the kick drum, and it's just so good. So we were like, well, can you play some bass for us when you get home? And then he's like, yeah, okay. It was also casual and just been on the road with us since he got home. The funny thing is, he's got a massive fear of flying.
Oh, whoa.
So his first ever flight was to New York, and we had to knock him out with Valium.
Oh, serious?
Himself out with Valium on every flight. It's just funny for someone to be such a fear of flying to do so much of it.
Yeah.
Literally, he's probably done 100 flights since he got back.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, when you guys went to New York, you had to borrow money off Mum and Dad. Did it take much arm twisting and convincing to get the money?
No, it didn't take any arm twisting and convincing, which is amazing. Because, basically, I was over in New York, and the boys were still back waiting for the phone call saying when they could come, waiting for the record deal to come through. But we realised the record deal was going to take a while to come through because we're still in the negotiation phases. So Mum had enough of the boys being so sort of going to get.
Yeah.
And got to the point where she was like, that the boys need to leave the house.
Yeah.
They need to go, they're coming. She called me, she's like, can I please just book them on the flight?
I don't even care if it's not to you, just anywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Who was always the favourite son?
Elliot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Elliot's the golden child.
Oh, okay then.
Because me and Zach probably be screwed. Wasn't for the Rubens, but have some kind of career.
Yeah.
We were a student.
Oh, just a couple more questions, man. I'll let you on your way. Where do you see yourself on both a personal level as well as the band in 12 months' time?
On a personal level, I don't know. I think, far out, I don't know, man. The band, wow, it's windy here, can you hear that?
Yeah, I can still hear you, don't worry.
The band will be, hopefully, just going from strength to strength and probably be overseas somewhere, I think, because, we're working on Australia right now, and as soon as Australia's done, we're going to be heading overseas. So I think it will probably be back and forth to America, I think. And on a personal level, I think I'm just going to be enjoying myself. Now, as long as things keep going well, I think I'm just going to keep enjoying myself.
Yeah, that's it, man. Well, just one last question. This is the question I ask to everybody. What advice do you have for all aspiring songwriters and musicians?
I'd like to say don't give up, but, I can't really vouch for that because we didn't have to give up.
Yeah.
We didn't even get close. But I'd probably say, stick with it longer than you expect. And also do the whole Unearth thing and embrace Triple J.
Yep.
Because they can help you out a lot. And I guess just play heaps of shows as well, because you can create a fan base. As daunting as it seems when you don't have any fans, you can create a fan base if you're a good live band. You can word of mouth and things will spread. And as soon as you've got a decent fan base, people start to take notice, even if you don't realise that record labels and stuff know. That's what I've realised, hanging around record labels a lot and being around Mushroom and just being in the offices and stuff, is that these people do know what's going on in music.
Yeah, they're paying attention. Yeah,
any kind of buzz going on, they'll know who you are.
Yeah.
So if you can create something like that, then people know who you are, and if you're good enough, they'll pick you up. That's
exactly right, man, yeah. Well, there you go, guys. Make sure you get yourself a copy of the Rubens debut album once it's released. Check them out at the Bended Elbow on September 14th. And for all the latest news and info, like them on Facebook at facebook.com/therubensmusic. Once again, Sam, thanks for your time, man. I really appreciate it, and good luck with the tour.
Thanks very much. I'll see you in July, yeah?
Yeah, cheers, man. See you later.
Bye.